let's renovate one of the worst EA builds in the entire Sims 4 game. The Sims team is kind of notorious for making really bad builds to put into the worlds for each pack. Now, this has changed since they started having creators build for these worlds since around Snowy Escape, I believe. But before then, it was the Sims team that was building these houses, and let me tell you, most of them are not builders. So there are some really unfortunate builds that are permanently in the game in some of the expansion packs. So we're gonna fix arguably one of the worst ones in the entire pack, which is the Amicable Acolyte's home in Glimmerbrook. Now, you might not look at this build and automatically think it's really bad. Is it a little rough on the edges? Yes. The roofing is bad. The shape is honestly just sad. It's just basically a square with a few bump-outs. It's kind of sad looking. Could use some work. But if you go to the back, there's a staircase. You would think the staircase would go to a back door, but no, it goes to a wall with a window and no door that goes into the kitchen. Like, it looks like they were thinking about putting a back door in the kitchen and then just forgot. And also, why are the stairs not touching the wall? Like, why are they too wide? Why are they like this? Like, what's happening with these stairs? This house, and not unlike other EA builds, but it's exceptionally empty. There are other builds that have more furniture than this, but tell me why it's so empty. Why isn't there a couch in this living room? Why is there not a single shower in either of the bathrooms? Why is this landing so big? This office literally has 6 items in it, plus one singular light. So we're gonna try to renovate this and see how it goes. But doing pretty much anything for this house would probably make it better, so it's not gonna be that hard to make it look better. Now, the thing that I like to do when renovating my builds though, is I don't like to change the shape of the house. I like to leave the walls exactly as they are. Sometimes I'll change a wall inside or add a wall, but that seems realistic to me to be able to do that in like real life. It's not really realistic to change the entire shape of the house in real life. So I like to kind of do them realistically. So we're gonna do it that way. Also, I don't really like Realm of Magic as a building pack, but we're gonna use it obviously because we're in this world and we're gonna try our best to make this look better than it is. So the first thing we have to do is take off this roof, just all of them. Then I think we need to delete the stairs, but I kind of also want to keep them. So what if we moved them there? Or we could add a little patio behind there like that. It's simple. Like, you don't have to do too much to it. Like, you can just have a little space and you can have a door here or here. And because this house is missing the door, I think we need to keep the stairs and make the door. So we'll have to do that. But we are going to start with the roof because the roof is going to make everything better. And it had a hipped roof, but I'm not vibing with a hipped roof, to be honest. Oh, I just noticed that there's not even a roof on this part of the house. This whole room doesn't have a roof. Now it does. Now I'm concerned. Do other rooms not have a roof? That's why the lighting is a little funky now, but it's fine. It's good. But how do you miss that? How do you miss it not having a roof? Here's the start of this roof. I think this is much better to begin with. Is it as whimsy? Maybe not, but there'll be plenty of whimsy and magic vibes in here, so it's fine. I'm not limiting this to base game, and we're probably gonna use a lot of Enchanted by Nature because you can't tell me this roof texture was not made for this. Okay, the roofs are done. I also went and removed all the wallpaper just to have a bit more of a clean slate. I also think I'm going to delete what's going on over here and just take out the whole room to begin with. And probably I should have started by deleting things to begin with, but it's fine. We're going to delete as we go. So we're going to delete this landscaping because I can landscape better. So this is what we're left with now that we removed all the landscaping and the terrain and everything. So let's fix this entryway. And again, we're not changing the floor plan. So I do have to keep the entryway generally in the same space, but I can move it. So it can go all the way up to here. So we're going to start by putting a porch on here. Okay. It might not look super different, but it feels super different with our porch like this. It's still off to the side, which I do kind of like doing my porches like that. So, but with the roof being different, and I changed everything out to actually be Enchanted by Nature. So I think it looks so much better. And the oranges, and like the woods are orangey brown, and it honestly matches these windows, and it matches some of the color scheme from the Magic. So I think this is gonna work out really well. Also, who on earth made this 3 wall height? Whose idea was that? Okay. So this is what I have so far. I'm not sure how I'm loving it. I had to see with landscaping in a little bit, but I do really like it, I think. I kept that kind of like orangey color. I made the foundation a solid color because I just didn't like the brick with brick. I don't like a brick on brick look with the foundation and the walls unless they're the same swatch. And then I put some siding on the top because I really like the look of it and being two-toned. And then I used some glass walls. I think I just need to use glass walls, but I think this is really cute to like have in our living room. So we now have some glass walls on there. I might end up changing it, but who knows? I also might end up changing everything. We'll just have to wait and see if that happens. Okay, so here's where I am at for landscaping. I've been using mostly Debug from Realm of Magic and base game, but I have a few things from Enchanted by Nature. Also this giant mushroom, which I love. I don't care if it's unrealistic to be in this area, but I love it. And these ones over here too, but I might switch the sounds out for these cute little ones. Yeah, those are cuter. So I don't know where I want to put my mailbox yet. I don't like the mailbox, to be completely honest with you. And I might swap the mailbox out. We could do the Enchanted by Nature one, but I was honestly thinking about like just putting one of these on the wall because they're out of the way and they don't really need to be perceived. So I don't really like the look of mailboxes, especially on magical builds. Like that one blends in, but I do like this one because this also kind of blends in. Maybe we'll do Enchanted by Nature. Basically, this is becoming an Enchanted by Nature remodel with a little bit of realm of magic. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about it either. I think this is the original terrain paint that was used for it, but I don't like how black it is. But I do like that one. And I do like this idea of like having it being like a little swirly, a little weavy, you know? That's actually adorable. Maybe we should move the mailbox up a little bit here. It's like a little bit of a focal point, but I kind of like it back there. But I do think we need some landscaping down here. So let's do that really fast. I also looked through the world to see what kind of landscaping was used in this area to kind of keep it accurate to what it was. Because I just like doing that with all of my builds. I like to keep the landscaping kind of in line with what's in the world. And this is what it was. And I really like it. Okay, I think I'm done with the landscaping. So let's terrain paint now. I think for this is a like redder terrain paint. So I might go for something a little bit redder than I normally do. There's actually really not any reddish like dirt ones. I mean, there's this, but that's not what that is. So I guess we're gonna just go off of whatever I can figure out. Because for some reason they like to use a lot of terrain paint in the builds and the worlds that we don't have, and I really wish we had it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the regular like Smarter Starter tool that I usually do as a base, and then I was going in with the dried horse wallow from Horse Ranch, and I think that's what I want. It has just like a little bit of earthy tones and it kind of blends it in better with the area. So we're gonna be putting terrain paint under anything that touches the ground, rocks, trees, plants, the edges of houses. I'm also going to line this with a little bit of dirt and then a little bit of the Horse Ranch red. That looks really good. Now I haven't landscaped anything in the backyard yet, but we'll get to that eventually. All right, I think that's it for the majority of the exterior. Again, I still did the backyard, but there's not much space in there. So we'll do that kind of at the end is usually when I like to add anything else to there. So we'll keep that for the end of all of this. But I think this is actually pretty cute. Moving on to the interior. Honestly, the floor plan's not bad. I did just realize we have this as a bedroom. It's a really tiny bedroom. But honestly, I don't hate the layout of it. I think the bathroom is probably way too big, but we can make do with that. The living room is also quite large and there's like no dining space. So we're gonna probably adjust that. Upstairs, I think is a poor use of space. There's a lot of empty space right here that I'm kind of tempted to turn into some sort of other room because it's just a lot of empty space. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling when we get upstairs. We're gonna start downstairs. And I think we have to start with just a floor. And I don't hate these floors that are in here, but I think those are better. And we're going to continue. So for this entryway, I'm going to grab out some sort of table, a little console table. As is that? Is this a dining table? It's definitely a dining table. Probably shouldn't use that then. This is a coffee table. It's not very console table-y, so we probably should find something else. But Enchanted by Nature also does not have a console table, but it does have this, which is a dining table. But honestly, I feel like it could be a good console table. So I think we'll throw that there. I think that's pretty fun. There's also practically no decor in this pack, so we will have to rely on other packs for decor. This table definitely needs some books and a candle. So that's what's gonna go over here. I'm not trying to make this build too cluttery. Like I don't want it to look super lived in. I just want it to look well decorated. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. And then we obviously need a rug in this space because why is this entryway so large? Again, like why is this so big? I really want to do something different with these stairs, but I have just tried a bunch of configurations for it and they just don't seem right. Like I feel like they have to stay too wide, but if I do that, then I feel like it just looks a little funky with being too wide and curved, especially being this far out next to the door over here from the bathroom. So I think I'm just going to leave them how they are, but please note that my intention was to change them. Back to rugs that I was distracted from. Also, I'm trying to find rugs that I like, but this floor is throwing me off. I think I have to go with a standard wood floor. I might try to find one that has a similar shade of brown, but I have to change it. Okay, I changed it to this herringbone from Life and Death and it looks so much better already. And then I really want to change the stairs, but I was trying to find a rug. But let's change the stairs first, just into like a wooden set of stairs. It's a little too dark. I'm also realizing that my lighting is awful. So let's get some lights first because these EA builds are so minimal in terms of their lights. I don't understand. And I would like to keep some like fun ceiling lights, but I have a tendency to forget. So we're going to leave the ones that are there. And while we're at it, we're going to add them to the upstairs as well. But just because you live in a magical world doesn't mean you can't have good lighting. Okay, I still haven't gotten a rug, but I did change the walls and I think they look a lot nicer with this dark color. I didn't think I was going to go for a darker wall than what we already had because it was like kind of on the dark side, but I like how this looks. I think it just like brings everything together in a way. So let's finally find a rug. That one's not bad from Get Famous. This is kind of fun. Moving on to like the dining area. I think I kind of want to change where the dining room is going to be and put it here where the glass wall is. And then put the living room area more like over here. This might be a terrible use of space, but we're going to try it. I feel like that looks really good. It just feels very important to have that here versus having the living room there. And then we can grab our living room and put it over here. So I just switch this up again. I tried them both. So I tried this over here and I actually loved where it was. Kind of a small spot for a living room, which I should have expected, but I had hopes. And then in this area, we're going to put a door because this is our back door that goes there just like that. All right. So there's our door fixed. I changed out the fence, the railing and the column at our little door. And I actually moved the stairs in because like before it was like this where it wasn't like fully onto the foundation, but now it is. So now we have our door. I also put a roof over it. I just felt like it needed a roof. So I added a roof that blends together. I added a short little roof just in case it rains, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of a roof there. Okay, back to more rugs that I'm getting distracted from. All right, so I got a business and hobbies rug for our dining room. It clips a little bit, but I don't care really. If it doesn't clip, it has to be like there. And that looks funkier. I could, however, move the dining table forward a little bit. That might be the solution. It's just centering this over it. All right, now let's decorate this living room because it's looking very cute. You know what? We should put some curtains on these windows. That'll bring a lot of nice color into this house. But maybe we don't use all of magic curtains. Maybe we'll use a different curtain. Oh, those Enchanted by Nature ones are so pretty on here. That's pretty. And like the wood tones pretty much match for these two. And I don't like the yellow one. So I think we're going to go with this light colored one. And I'll put this on all of the windows that need it, which I guess isn't all of them. But I think we'll overlap them here. I still like the flowers over there. I think, what if we size? Oh, that's really big sized up. Okay, what if we size it up with a tool? That's like 1.4. I think that's a really good size right here. That looks nice right there. I like that. All right, now what do I put in this giant corner that is 3 wall height? Everything that I have is not going to be tall enough for this. Could put a literal statue. I could put my favorite plant that I can never fit in my builds, but the lighting is broken on it, so I'm not going to do that. It also doesn't look good. What do I put here? Another lamp? I guess we can put that there. I don't love it, but it's fine. This is also very empty over here. I wonder if we could put a little rug. Okay, now that this main area is pretty complete, I'm going to go over here to this little corner. Now, I don't know if this is where you would leave your wand. I don't play this pack, but I feel like that's a good place to place a wand. It might just be me, but that feels like a good place to place a wand. Let's do the wand of the Sylvan Forest. What do we place our broom here too? Maybe I should go in the kitchen so they look like actual brooms. They're like disguised. Although I feel like in this household, you don't need really to disguise your broom. All right, that's pretty cute. I also removed the railings for our stairs, so let's add those back in. I might use the same ones as outside. They're just really pretty railings. All right, moving on to the bathroom. This is a bit of a challenge. Not really. It's just a big bathroom, as is the one upstairs, and neither of them have showers. So we're gonna add showers. We're gonna redo both of them, and resisting the urge to use the new one from the new bathroom kit because that just doesn't feel right for the space or this house. We could go with this linoleum. I do really like this linoleum, and I just used it in another build actually, and it's really cute. And that blends with the floor really well. So I think that's what we're gonna do for our bathrooms. Now for the actual layout in here, we need to add a shower. And since it's such a big bathroom, I think I want to add a custom shower, which I really enjoy doing. So I think we could put it over here in this side. And we could use these dividers from Sleek Bathroom. We could also use a glass wall, or we could just use like a regular wall. But I'm digging the dividers. I'm digging the dividers, especially that like first swatch too. So like that could be our shower area. There is a Room of Magic toilet and sink, and I never use these, and I think I would like to. So we're gonna incorporate these. And I could always make the shower match this one color wise, and I actually really like that gold. So let's see if there's like this kind of gold for our shower head. I mean, I guess that's close. I'm gonna leave those color because it's kind of match the walls, but I really like this sink. I think it's really pretty and I never use it. I feel like we could also fit a tub in here if we wanted to. And then we have like a little open wet room sort of thing. I assume your sim can get in there. I assume your sim will be able to get in there. It's fine. And then we can have our sink and our toilet over here. However, I'm not digging these anymore. We've got kind of like a modern bathroom going on here, which probably should adjust. Maybe I use a different tub. That's a better tub. I like that one. It's quite fun, honestly, with the clawfoot feet. Okay, I'm liking this. This is fun. I might take this out and just not have a door. It'll just be like open. Or I could kind of layer them like it's a sliding door. Oh, I like that. I don't know if your sim can walk through there, but we're gonna pretend that they can. However, I'm not loving these counters. Honestly, these new base game ones are just perfect in every way for anything. I kind of like that. I don't love the black counter as tops, but that's okay. All right, there's our bathroom. It's on the more minimal side, but I think that's okay. Maybe we should add a rug though. I keep forgetting rugs in these builds for some reason, which is, you would think I wouldn't do because they're my favorite part of any build is the rug. I think we're gonna use the Realm of Magic rugs in here because I haven't really used any Realm of Magic at all. It feels like we can do that, and that's nice. Okay, that's our bathroom. So rest of the house, on the first floor, we have the kitchen and this kids room, which I don't know if I want to keep it a kids room or if we should make it like not a kids room. I just feel like this room doesn't make sense. Okay, well, I just removed that. So is it crazy to move my living room again to face this direction and put our dining room back in the glass area? I think I would really like that. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, I actually really like that. I don't love that this rug is not centered on the other area, but I think if I should just shrink it, I'll be fine with that. That's such a better layout though. That's so nice. And I said that I would remove some walls if I needed to. Just nothing crazy, and that's what we did. All right, on to our kitchen and fixing this mess. I really don't know why they went with so much blue for the interior of this house. That's just already a better color for in here. We are not using these counters because they don't make any sense. I don't know why they didn't use the ones from the pack. Probably because they were too expensive. But like, also, why were the counters overlapping? They made the counters overlap the windows. See what I mean when I mean this is like one of the worst builds, one of the worst EA builds. So I tried the wood floors in here and it looked pretty, but I didn't like how it flowed in between each other. So we are gonna go for just a different tile. We could keep some of the blue elements with this floor. I actually really like that, even with our reddish orange walls. I kind of am digging the blue though. It just has an homage to the blue that once was. I really don't like these cabinets, but I also don't like this one either from like vampires. I think that has the best other look for this. Oh, we can use these ones. These are from Life and Death. I just used these in a build the other day, but they're really pretty, especially when you get them in the right build. And I'll use the fridge and stove from this pack as well, just because even though I prefer the ones from this pack from Life and Death, but we'll go with this one because it's what is here. Ooh, that's kind of fun. I like that it matches the stove. It also is one that kind of matches the counters, but we'll go with this. And then I'm thinking we have to have a fun island of some sort. Rounded feels right for this kitchen. Is it too big though? Oh, okay. This is not convenient at all, but that's fun. And there should be enough space for your Sims to get around. So it's probably functional. First, we have to put our sink under the giant window because it's the prettiest there. Tell me why there's no horizontal windows in this pack. I mean, I guess there's not a lot of horizontal windows in any of the packs, but I feel like there should be one just so that I can have my counters the way I want them to be. All right, well, the only like somewhat good window I found is this one for For Rent, and it actually does match the wood tone pretty closely, but there's nothing horizontal, and I really want a horizontal window here, and I don't know what to do with it if there's not a horizontal window. So maybe we'll put art or something there. We'll put this here instead. Yeah, why not? I kind of like this moss rug from Enchanted by Nature in here. I think it's kind of cute. And then of course we need a trash can. All right, there's not a lot of clutter in here, but I think that's okay. And that's our kitchen. So that's the entire first floor. And it's taken me nearly 2 hours. So let's see if we can do the upstairs in less than 2 hours. I think we're gonna start by deleting everything. So I'm just gonna wanna use different furniture than the majority of what they used in here. I also did change this wallpaper in here because I thought it would be really cute for a kid's room. Okay, that looks like everything is deleted. I do need to grab this fence to replace over here. And I'm gonna grab our floors from downstairs, bring them upstairs. And I don't know about the walls. You know, I like the walls being that way. So we'll do that. And then I'm a big hater of those carpets. So we're gonna add the hardwood floors in there. I am first going to just do our bathroom really fast. I just copy and place everything from the first bathroom, basically. I don't know if we're gonna do a custom shower in there though, so I might hold off on that. But we are going to have, maybe we'll do a double vanity because honestly, we do have the space. I'm also gonna move our door over here. That way we can put our toilet in this corner. And then can we fit a shower? We can fit a shower there. There's no reason why we wouldn't be able to fit a shower there. And we can do the one from Life and Death because it really fits in here well. I wish we had better bathroom sinks. Like, why haven't we gotten a new bathroom sink? I was like, rounded, because like you don't really find square bathroom sinks. Like, these are so obviously kitchens. I mean, we have this one. It doesn't come in like a gold swatch, and I want gold. I mean, we could do those. They don't give bathroom vibes, but they're gold at least. I'm feeling a funky mirror situation. I'm doing bad at like checking at what clutter we have. Oh, maybe I should use these since they're from the pack. All right, there's our second bathroom. It's fine. It's better than the one that was here. So I was talking about adding another room here. I just don't know why we would need another room unless we want like a nursery, which we could add a nursery, but then we also have this room, which could be an office. We could also, I kind of have an idea. So what if we make our wall same color and then we get a secret secret bookcase door. And we get the one to match it so they look a little more cohesive like that. And then this can be a secret little magic study room. Oh, could we fit a cauldron? It would be the majority of the space. But this is the secret magic study room. I'm also gonna block the window. So I feel like this is the kind of thing where you don't necessarily need the light. So this is where they can do their cauldron things. We'll add these curtains just to fit the whole magic vibe. We're gonna do black. We're going for a bit of a darker vibe in here, just because it's the secret magic space. Should we go for the fancy cauldron? No, I think that one's kind of ugly. Maybe with this apothecary table right here. I might just remove this window altogether. This little apothecary table here has all like the things that you can put in your potions, and maybe throw a rug under the cauldron like that. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. It's a secret little magic room. And then we'll use some of these out here. This is a curio cabinet, and there was genuinely this in the hallway already, but I think this is a good use of putting it in here. But we also could put it in here because we could still use this as an office, and I think I might use that for our office room as well as this bedroom. I might change the color of them, but I really like this wallpaper, and this is one of the few things from Realm of Magic that I do actually use when I'm doing other things. So I think we'll put that there. I think we can throw our desk like right there. I think this wooden rolly chair looks really good right there. Okay, so my problem is with this game. So we know that wood tones don't match, but why does the ugliest wood tone have a matching swatch in every pack? Like, I truly hate this like kind of red toned orangey wood. I truly hate it, but yet it works and is in every single pack. Like, tell me why. Oh, that's a better layout. Okay, I guess I can have a computer. Even spellcasters can have a computer, because aren't we all just a little bit chronically online? I feel like a candlestick fits. Couldn't tell you why, but it just makes sense. We could put the fireplace. I was gonna put the fireplace in the bedroom, but maybe we can do both places. Yeah, let's do both places. Why not? Everyone wants a bookcase. All right, I put two more like wand stands right there. It's not like there's wand space in this room. We have two more wand stands there. I think we'll throw that rug in here. We're going for a bit of a lighter color scheme. And then we'll put like a big plant behind there. Is that functional? Not sure, but it's okay. I also just realized we need a rug for in here. And unfortunately, Realm of Magic doesn't have like a full-sized rug, but they do have these little ones that we can size up. I don't love the blue, but I like the blue better than other colors. So we're gonna stick with the blue. Let's throw one more thing up on this wall. That guy. Also, just remember we had a backsplash from fairies from Enchanted by Nature that would look incredible back here. Okay, so if I change the wallpaper, then we can have this beautiful backsplash on there. Like, that's gorgeous. I can't put it here because it'll overlap and like snap with the window. I have to have it like that height, which I know that's a little crazy, but it can be two heights. That's okay. I'm unbothered by that. All right, okay. Back to our other rooms that we have not spent any time on yet. I honestly think this is fine for our hallway. I never do much in the hallways. Now we have a kids room. We don't have a lot of Realm of Magic kids stuff, but we do have a single bed and a bassinet. But Enchanted by Nature has kids beds, and I think that's what we're gonna go for, is like a kids room with a kids bed. And then I want to use this wallpaper, but I don't know which swatch I want to use. I really like that red one. We can do that for our bed with the little acorns on it. Okay, I will say this is a huge kids room, but it's fine. Then what if we use these like awning canopy kind of things as a little canopy bed? That's so cute. I actually adore that. It's like a custom little canopy bed. Okay, I really like how this is looking so far. I feel like we need something. I really haven't used Realm of Magic yet in this room, except for like the curtains. So I think we need to add something from in here, but I don't know what we could add. Just none of it feels right for a kid's room. Like, this is very lacking for kids stuff. We could swap the dressers. We could swap the dresser. The colors won't match if we do that. Could give it a rug, but these colors also don't really match. I will throw one of those little paintings there. Or maybe I'll put it right here. We'll do the black. Then I can add the other one over here. That one. That's cute. Okay, so not a lot of Realm Magic, but there's some in there. And let's get that rug from Enchanted by Nature. I really like this one. I think it has some of the colors on the wallpaper. We also have the dragon one, but I feel like the deer, like this buck, it's better. So there's our kids room, and now we're gonna go on to the parents room, and we are gonna use our magic bed. I promise I will have Realm of Magic in this room. I want to put it like over here, but then it's off center in the window, or it's just like blocking the window. I think it's okay to block the window. It's fine. It's The Sims. I will give it a curtain in case I would like to close the window at any point. And this room is gonna be mostly this pack. So mostly Realm of Magic. Put that there. So the thing is, because I got the fireplace in here, and I really like it there. We could move the bed over here and put the fireplace there, but then that kind of blocks our bed. Put the bed more like this. Keep that there. Still have our dresser here. Okay, it's not the best layout if you think of like feng shui, but I don't bother with feng shui, so it's okay. I love this like black and celestially looking one. I feel like that's really good for a parent's room. We're gonna go for that swatch of everything. Gotta have some chairs so they can sit in front of their fireplace and relax away from their child. Maybe we should make them all white. Oh, I like that. Oh, that is not centered. Okay, I gotta fix these now. And then we get a rug. Do I care if it is under the fireplace? Not really, but I'll move it anyway. Okay, so I hate that that isn't in the center, but if I move it forward, it's a little bit funky. So I think I might do this one instead. Just like that. And then we'll throw one of these lights in here. And then we have to get some plants. I think we'll use a plant curtain over there. And then I'll grab these ones, which honestly aren't terrible with our black and white color scheme that we have going on. We could make them more black and white, which I think I'll do. It's okay if the curtain rod doesn't match the windows. That's cute. And I think we have a fully functional house. We just have a little bit left to do in the backyard. So let me landscape this really fast. And then over here, we have a little space to like sit, but I don't like that. So we're gonna get rid of that. I think we can add a bench out here for sure. Just too, oh, that would fit actually pretty well back there. Oh, doesn't make sense to have this fancy fountain in the back of my backyard. Absolutely not. But is that going to stop me? Absolutely not. I will say one thing I love about a high foundation is that I don't have to deal with flipping landscaping, and it's honestly really nice. That's cute. What if we went and grabbed romantic garden stuff? Is that like too much for this pack? Kind of into it. Should we make it black? We could put our bench in here. You can like sit and look at the fountain. I wish the fountain had a black swatch. I think that's kind of cute. I think I like it. Then over here, we'll put a few of these, because these were here, these planter boxes, they were here to begin with, so we'll just throw some of those in there. Our trash can be there. Maybe I'll landscape a little bit around the back of the house, that like that. Okay, and then we just terrain paint, and then we layer our horse ranch color, and then we used this as our front pathing, and then that'll be our pathing for back here. I like that, and I think we're done. I think this looks so much better than the original version. So here they are side by side. Tell me which one you prefer. If you pick the EA one, I will be a little bit upset, but it's fine. I won't hold it against you. I had a lot of fun with this. It took me way longer than I wanted it to. It's been almost 3 hours to film this entire thing, but this style is out of my normal style and comfort zone, so it took a little bit of extra work, but I like how it turned out. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below of other houses that you'd like to see me renovate. I don't do a lot of renovations, but I really enjoy this one, so maybe I'll do some more in the future. So let me know which lots you'd like to see renovated. And if you want to hang out, I stream on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.